What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another concept crafting video. This time it is the Lightning Loyalist, another lightning build that utilizes strength. It's a quality build with a little bit of faith. The faith is optional depending on how many incantations you want to have access to. So let's get into this real fast. Alright, you usually are going to start with a dragon halberd. Alright, as you can see, I maxed it out. I maxed out the Veteran's Prosthesis and the Earth Tree Seal. Okay, these are your three things. This is your option for quick attacks. When you want to dual wield, you're going up against an enemy that is, let's say, much faster, or the openings are not as big as you would like them to be. Then you go for this one, and with enemies that do give you, those bigger windows for you to attack, you would use this one. Ideally, you want to start with this and one of your incantations to proc Frostbite. So you'll be spamming this until Frostbite is procced, and then you switch over to this and you start dealing massive damage. With this one right here, you will be dealing a lot more damage than you can imagine. This is just the best thing to have to use if you want to cast incantations. This will boost, the power of your incantations by the most. White mask. I just wanted him to look like, some kind of crazy homeless guy, but he's not really homeless. He has been abandoned. You know, Now it is the era of the Holy Order, and he was part of the era of the Lightning Order, and there are no more lightning dragons controlling this world. I mean, they roam around, but they're not in charge of this world as the Golden Order and, Elden Beast and all that now are in charge. So I made him look like he's homeless because, he's got no home no more. His order is long gone, but he's a loyalist and he will never surrender, and he will never turn into a holy fool. Anyways, you will use this if you are spamming your, of course, your skills or your Ashes of War. This one is for the prosthesis, very useful again with it, and can be used even with your main, the Dragon's Halberd, because if you use the Spinning Slash, it will give you that extra damage because of this. If you think you can maintain full health, I would go for this. Otherwise, you can go for something defensive, or maybe Axe Talisman or the Claw Talisman for that extra, damage when you do jump attacks or charge attacks. I would not go for these because you're not really depending on your incantations here to do the damage for you. You are dealing damage mainly with your melee hits, so I would go for melee stuff, like I said right here, and what I already mentioned, the Claw Talisman and the Axe Talisman, big ones right here, or one of these defensive ones depending on what kind of enemy you're going up against. You can use some utility ones, of course. The Green Turtle Talisman always works. If you want some extra stats and you want to gain access to more spells and incantations, you can go for this one, the Two-Finger Heirloom. This will give you access to Lanciax, or was it Fortisax Lightning Spear. We're going to go into the lightning spells soon. You can go for this. This also gives you what you need here with the Faith, just right here, and gives you a bit more, just you will be receiving damage. You can go for this one as well. You can go for this one. You can go for this one. You got quite a few options with this build. It all depends on the boss or the enemy you're fighting. You can switch things around depending on that. Armor, like I already explained, it made him look like a homeless crazy guy, but it has meaning to it. Of course, your dexterity and your strength are your two primary attributes. Faith, I will discuss it soon. Actually, I'm going to discuss it right now. Let's get into our stats. Vigor is at 50, just so you can have some survivability. If I was doing a fresh start, I would be around probably 30 to 40, so I would have more points to play with and probably become a bit more offensive. But here, I want to try to be, I want to survive a bit more. But you can take away 10 points if you are good at this game. Mind is good enough. Honestly, you can even take it down to 15 if you'd like. But just enough so you're not spamming your flasks all the time. You don't want to be constantly running out of mana and all that, as you will be using some spells. So keep that in mind. Endurance, you do not need to, level that up whatsoever with this um, armor set that we got going on here for ourselves, pretty much naked. Um, Strength is at 50. As I noticed, that is what's the best, like the best scaling. At least this is what it says here. I mean, this is a C scaling, this is a B scaling. According to some information online, I think like if you hit the 60 cap, you're probably better off going with dexterity because you're not going to get as much attack power after 60 or something like that. So I'm not sure, I haven't tried it myself. This is a stat hungry build, so I'm not going to hit 60 with both here. It's going to be pretty tough to do that without, of course, my wondrous physic. So I went for a bit more strength. You can reduce the dexterity a bit if you would like, even drop it all the way down to 20 if you think that the strength is gonna boost the damage a lot more than the dexterity. Maybe get to 60 strength and 30 dex I think would be good instead of 50-40, but I had to try it out to find out. Intelligence, we're not going to be using any sorceries. Faith can drop all the way down to 36, and let's get into why. Alright guys, so I'll try to sum this up real fast now. Golden Vow, no, doesn't need explanation. All these three buffs here, you all know what they're for. So, Lightning Spear, Lightning Strike, and Honed Ball, they're all optional, but I would have at least one of these yellow lightning spells to attack my enemies from afar. I think this is one of the best ones right here, but you can have all three of them because this is better for like single target. This is better for like, maybe some AoE damage as well. This one is better against like slower targets where you might get 2, 3, or even 4 honed bolts off before the enemy attacks you. So they're all very situational. This is a melee build, so any of the melee dragon, ancient dragon, or the other one, Fortisax ancient dragon spear, lightning spear, if you are willing to wear, one of those other talismans to boost your faith all the way up to 46, because that's what you would need for Fortisax ancient dragon lightning spear. All right, so this is why I don't have it, because this is not really supposed to be a faith build. All right, so you can drop all the way down to 34. Sorry, not 36, so even better. 34 is all you need to get to Frozen Lightning Spear, and this can be useful because you're using this mainly for its proc, and you can cast this from afar and still get the after effect to deal damage that, that what happens on the ground, it just like leaves like, I don't know how to explain it, just like an area of lightning that releases lightning after I don't know, like a short interval, like a second or two. Anyways, so this is pretty good to cast to try to get that frostbite from afar. It does cost a bit. It is a bit annoying. You do have to time it, but it is essential in this build. And I would not use any other spell whatsoever. No incantation, no nothing else. You can, if you want, go for these two here, but again, this one would be against specific bosses if you are having a hard time against them and they're really big and huge, then why not? This one is not that great, and as you can see, it's 40 faith, not worth the investment. And this one, 46, like I said, not worth the investment because you are not a faith build. All right, is this one mainly? You can switch this one out with this one. I feel like you don't need both of these. I feel like this and this is much better, to be honest. This is for like, melee targets. This is for like big targets. You can use this against any target, but this one is really good against for AoE and for just large dragons as well. This just like devastates them. And you can use it at 26 faith only. So this could be part of the build, and that's it. We have one red lightning, one blue, and a bunch of yellow ones that just cost less, generally speaking. Like this is 34, 26, and it's like 24. This one costs a lot, 28. I would rather use this than this, but this has a higher chance of attacking like a single target or like a bunch of enemies that are in a line. And that is all I would go for, guys. Nothing else. If you're, I mean, if you're like really skilled and you think you're not going to take any damage, don't forget this is 150, level 150, NG plus 5. And you don't think you're going to be taking any damage, I would use this. But instead of Black Flame's protection, because you can't have both. So it's up to you. If you're taking a lot of damage, you want to survive Black Flame's protection. If you don't, you go for this, and you will deal some more massive damage. It's all up to you guys. Anyways, guys, I'll be right back now with some fighting clips, so BRB. Alrighty, everyone, I am back. We will take on this troll here twice, and then we're gonna go on and take on a few bosses, open world bosses mainly, and all that. As you can see, we easily take care of the set there. And here I am going for Frostbite. I do use the Frozen Lightning Spear quite a lot, and just to show you guys, like, it's not that strong at getting the proc fast enough. I think like it needs a little bit of love when it comes to that. Like 3 hits, if that lightning erupting from the ground hits you 3 times, I believe, generally speaking, most, if not all, creatures should be frostbitten by then. But here it doesn't really work out this way. Like, I have to do quite a lot. I have to hit them like, I don't know how many times with it, like maybe 5, 6, 7 times before it actually works. And I think if you go for your spinning / Ash of War with the Dragon Halberd, if you use it like 2 or 3 times and you get all of those hits in, you will probably proc it much faster than the Frozen Lightning Spear. But the Frozen Lightning Spear does have a small advantage. There we go, we finally procced it. And the small advantage is you can cast it from, you can create some distance. You don't have to get really close to them to cast it. And as soon as it procs, as soon as they're frostbitten, this is when I usually switch to my dual wielding weapon there, the Veteran's prosthesis, and it just deals more damage when you dual wield it and you attack much faster and all that. And here I show you pretty much how it would, how the fight would turn out pretty much if you are using the Veteran's prosthesis the entire time. And I just show you some of the lightning spells here. Don't forget, you have access to them, but that doesn't mean you're going to be doing massive damage with them. This is just like a nice option to maybe pull a mob from afar, or maybe to finish off one if you don't want to get too close to it. Maybe you don't have a lot of health or a lot of flasks left and all that. Then you might want to consider, relying on your spells. You have the option there. You have 3 different spells that are all, that you can cast from like afar and all that. And you have 2 that you can cast when they're close by, even though I would only use the Frozen Lightning Spear, to be honest, because I personally just like it more, and it just has a chance of proccing, and it just, you can use it from afar and deal more damage using it than you would with the Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike or Lightning Spear, whatever it was called, the red one. And now it costs less as well, but yeah, it's not good enough. And as you can see here, guys, finished it off using my Ash of War, which is really good. Here, guys, I went and I killed the Nice Cavalry, the 2 that you have to fight. You don't have to, but the optional bosses that you have in the Consecrated Snowfields when you have to fight 2 of them. However, unfortunately, I forgot to record it, even though I destroyed them. I beat one of them using the Dragon Halberd, the first one. This is why I decided to do the same thing to other ones that are still, roaming the land. Dragon Halberd, destroyed one of them, and then the second one, I went for my Veterans prosthesis and destroyed both of them. It was so much fun. I really like this build, by the way. It is like I haven't done a lot of dexterity builds, but they're a lot of fun. I'm gonna make a few more, that's for sure. Well, we'll see what kind of dexterity builds I'll make. Maybe I'll make one that is like, intelligence and dex, because strength and dex doesn't work out as good as faith and strength. So maybe we'll try doing dexterity and intelligence next and see how that turns out. Maybe I'll have a few builds like that for you guys in the future. But as you can see here, bam. Now I usually do it twice because the other ones had a bit more health. So if you do it twice, they still wouldn't die. And I'm gonna show you what I mean right here. And like, these guys are just so easy when you are using this build. Look at that, you're just dealing massive damage to them. Look, bam, bam, bam. It's real quick. If you don't hit him, you hit his horse, and there you go, he's down. Look, one. Then I stop, two, and then I do it, because they have some health left. And here, I even end up killing all of these guys for you. I'm going to show you everything. And then I'm going to end it. We have one more boss fight, so we're going to get into that actually. I'm going to show you the whole boss fight, and then we're going to end it afterwards. As you can see, adds no problem. I could have went for my Dragon Halberd, used the Ash of War there, that would have destroyed them. But just trying to show you some weapons that a lot of people just like don't use, even though they're pretty good at least for PvE. Here, honestly, I should have kept using my Spinning Slash until I proc Frostbite. But at one point, I grow impatient and decide that I want to use the Veteran's Prosthesis. I like this weapons, to be honest, guys. No, I don't like the fact that, you have to get really close to them, but hey, you attack so fast with them that it doesn't really matter. And this dragon here doesn't stand a chance. And by the way, the Dragon Halberd does, I believe, 10% increased damage against dragons. So keep that in mind. This weapon will help you out a bit here. The Prosthesis, however, does not deal any extra bonus damage to dragons because it doesn't have any of the dragon lightnings, which is the blue and red, if you've noticed. No dragons use, well, at least that I haven't noticed. I mean, I don't know, maybe there is one or two that I don't know about, but most of them use red lightning or use some other element. And those other fake dragons that can't fly, the dragonkin creatures, those are the ones that use the blue one. But I've never seen a dragon that just uses only yellow lightning strikes. So if you use any of the other lightning weapons that you can get, the legendary ones, one you can get from defeating Dragon Lord Placidusax, and the other one is in Lendel, Bolt of Grand Sax and all that, they will deal, I believe, like up to 30% increased damage against these dragons here, so those are really powerful. And as you can see, guys, I'm just playing around, I'm having fun. Sure, he can two-shot me, as you can see, there you go. But as long as you're careful and you keep attacking the back leg like I'm doing here against this dragon specifically, you should be pretty safe. As you can see, you can use your skill here wherever you are. You don't really have to aim, and it would perform pretty well. Anyways, guys, we're nearing the end now, so I hope you enjoyed the Lightning Loyalist, and as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next episode. Have a great day, y'all. See you all next time, and peace.